And Jake O'Donnell. O'Donnell, by the way, worked the previous All-Star game here at Chicago Stadium back in 1973. Bill Oakes is the alternate. Underway. A little defensive aggressiveness by the East.
You know, right off the bat, Pat Riley asked the players yesterday, who would you like to match up against? And Magic Johnson said, I want to play Jordan.
They double team on the pick and roll. Karl Malone gets the first basket of the ball game. Missed the shot, and here's a 4-on-3 for the Western Stars. English didn't have control, and Jordan makes the block to Wilkins, open court.
He would have won the dunk contest with that one yesterday.
Hakeem comes back, and we see the ball from behind. Great defensive play by Olajuwon. And Malone scores. And if this pace continues,
by the players.
West with the lead inside Wilkins, and the East All-Star.
Review with defensive philosophy.
Isaiah Thomas. I'm surprised at the reaction. Isaiah
He's
Thomas.
out Michael Jordan, and I don't think the fans here in Chicago forgot.
English from Fat Lever. And that's a story that simply is not English. The Denver players, they're always on the wing.
Look at this guy, Jordan, come across and block the shot. You know, he's known as an offensive player, but right there shows you the defensive ability. Here's Lever swinging the basketball, looking inside, fine pass to English.
Lever makes the free throw. So Fat Lever, who was snubbed a year ago and leads the NBA in triple doubles. That's points, rebounds, and assists. He is only 6'3", and is one of the...
started in this game of basketball. Worked with him down in Houston. Almost adopted him as a son.
Michael Jordan from... Here is Malone. Here's Olajuwon out of nowhere, and the basket counts, and a foul. Hakeem Olajuwon, by the way, was the third highest vote getter of all the All-Stars. We know about Jordan and Magic Johnson over 1 million. It was Olajuwon who was third.
And there's Olajuwon beating Moses at his own game, getting to the offensive glass.
Larry Bird picked up the foul. And Olajuwon, Thomas trying to go the distance, loses it. Moses Malone gets it back. And Isaiah Thomas, you'll see this. Nearly a steal by Magic. And Michael Jordan with 4. So Thomas and Jordan and Wilkins.
Each coaches will try and read this ball game and see which players complement each other to have them ready for the fourth period.
Lever hits from outside. The part of that denies it, and Jordan says, I never said it myself.
Yeah, and you remember the stories that Magic and Larry Bird didn't get along many. I spoke to Hakeem before the game, and I said, Hakeem, how do you assess the trade, bringing Joe
Bird helping off Malone's hands? No-look pass from Magic to Olajuwon, and Magic is just against the West-East ball.
Pat Riley told me he taught that pass yesterday, too. Yesterday in the Legends game that are younger than Hakeem. Than Abdul-Jabbar.
Clears. Mark McGuire has come in as well. He's filling the lane. Bounce pass, Malone from Magic. Ewing, McHale, Ainge, and Rivers.
Now, the thing about this, notice the backspin he puts on the pass so it will...
Mike Fratello is only 5'6". He's a little man among giants, but he said he got a lot of confidence. His dad was an amateur boxer, and that helped him have the confidence to... Barkley's foul, and here is Malone. Calls his mother in Summerfield, Louisiana, before every game. I asked him, what did she tell you today? Because she always says, these are the numbers I think you should shoot for. 25 points, 11 rebounds.
Well, he's right on course. But defensively, what the West is doing very well is doubling down.
Ainge miss. Rivers changed hands, got the basket.
Aguirre, Rivers, Cheeks, and Thomas, and they all do one thing and try to do it, and that's go to the basket. And the reason for that is here.
Help, Sky hook. Thank you very much. Wouldn't be the same without that. Ewing gets the rebound and draws the foul. The illness. Pat will miss the Lakers' next game. That's against Indiana on Tuesday. Len Riley was survived by his wife Katie and his daughter Kelly, and of course we send our condolences as well. be seeing Pat Riley next Sunday.
Brent has his own all-star game in the summer. And he's run it for 2 years now, and he gets the finest players in the league to go out there and play in L.A. And he's raised nearly $1 million for the United Negro College Fund.
It's going to become a staple, and winding down to a minute to go in the first. Rivers. Doc Rivers with his second.
Both teams handling the basketball.
Robertson.
And when you're in an starting out with Bowie being out for the year, Vanderway, he's being out, and Steve Johnson sitting on the bench, who was the All-Star center, voted to the All-Star team. He's out with the thumb, which he just had operated on. What's happened is they have just been able to overcome this adversity. I played with him in an All-Star game. I coached an All-Star game with him, and now I'm announcing when he's playing.
Clyde Drexler hits the shot. 3-on-1 East. Wilkins.
Here's that fast break. You know, who do you go defend against if you're Donaldson, Jordan or Wilkins? He made the wrong decision. Out of college, you know, was not. It wasn't very good scouting, I think, on a lot of people to analyze analyze Brad Daugherty in that fashion, because when you look at the NBA right now, you think of Olajuwon, Ewing, and Brad Daugherty as the 3 centers in the league.
That was Moses Malone.
You know, it's been very surprising how low the scoring is so far in this ball game. Most cases, it's a lot higher.
Wilkins inside from Cheek. Daugherty, Jordan. First it was Jordan to Daugherty, and now it goes.
So they're having a tough time keeping up with the tempo of this game. Now look at the passing. Oh, Brad Daugherty right there shows you why he's the #1 center passing-wise.
Setting a screen from Larry Bird. Against Lever. Wow.
He's not being a very... Now here's that penetration and the movement of Michael Jordan. I don't know.
Most of this game until the last few minutes have a 2-point lead. Just under 7 minutes remaining in the half. Timeout.
He's having the 24 greatest athletes. I think that list ought to be expanded to include 25.
Well, you know, they're the greatest athletes as a team, but, you know, I do my thing on my own.
Mike, any skills that you see these guys possess that you'd like to take into the ring with you?
Not at all, because theoretically, and actually, if you look at it basically, it takes approximately the same amount of time to develop a good fighter as it does to develop a good basketball player, because they all have the timing, the coordination, the agility, and the fighter needs exactly the same
But we know that you have
everything.
But we know that you have a stronger punch indeed. Talk about knockout power. Let's go back to Dick and Billy.
And also in the audience, there's Oprah Winfrey.
Fans played it that Olajuwon was wide open and found him for that. Well, found him for the possible dunk, but he did get fouled.
Clyde Drexler. I said, you know, well, the thing about the Lakers is that they've got, with all the great stars, they have Michael Thomas.
Been able to develop, I think, more so this year than any year, is that leadership quality. You know, he has the ability to say, hey, let's not just scoring.
Lever. He's been maybe the most effective outside shooter, 42. 5:40 remaining. Michael Jordan knows the rims here, doesn't he? And a steal by Jordan. He spun it away from the mailman.
Now, this is something Doug Collins coaches the Chicago Bulls players to do, to try and come from the rear to block the shots of the bigger players.
He leads the NBA in steals. Is there anything he can't do? Another Malone. Moses. Bird. And Larry Bird scores his first point of the game.
I think the West needs a little...
Ainge to Thomas. And they'll call the travel against Isaiah Thomas.
Dick, you know, there's 15-point runs, say, and then the other team will come back.
Olajuwon. And we've kind of had...
First violation warning, new 24 seconds.
Now watch Olajuwon coming from the weak side, getting to the offensive boards. And if you...
Isaiah Thomas tries to loop it over the big man. And Moses Malone is there for his first basket of the game. And Larry Bird, who started the game for the West, are in there now. Not so for the East. Alex English.
You know, you look at Alex English. He's too skinny. He can't run very well. Doesn't jump. But he's been an all-star for, what, 7?
Olajuwon has picked up his 3rd personal foul, and that will bring in Kareem Abdul-Jabbar
games this year.
That's a record. Lever. There's Barkley, and English is on Barkley. He wants to be isolated against the thinner English. There it is. Barkley's relentlessness.
Earlier in the year about his teammates, questioning them, were they dogs or not, and he felt they were at one point in the season. And you know, Charles, I don't think means those things, but sometimes he doesn't think before he speaks.
Trying to cut it to 6. Magic all the way in. Against McHale behind him. Karl Malone, 52 game. The West trying to make a last spurt with under a minute to go. Kareem.
Pride this man has in whatever he does.
That's the goal. Charles Barkley. All the way. No basket. He started the game for the East in there and a loop for Williams. Isaiah Thomas.
The acquisition, as we talked about, with Joe B. Carroll joining this ball club, and Floyd, you know, with a little time, they'll develop that chemistry, and I think that they will give the
foul. Lever made 1 out of English made 2. Back, and it's 64 to 55. Lever in the lane gets the roll, so Lafayette Lever now.
Passing game.
Tough to play too, those teams. Karl Malone gets the basket and the foul, and Karl Malone is going to be a force if the West is going to win this game. He'll have to be in there.
Well, here's Larry Bird trying to overplay the passing lane and not allow Karl Malone to get that good position, but the key was that excellent pass.
And 1 assist. It's been a quiet first half for him. Jordan. 20 points for Jordan, but he did it in the hands of England. Jordan with another steal, and it's 4-0.
That's 2.
And it was Magic Johnson who got a hand on the ball, coming the other way. And the basket counts earlier.
But that last play, Magic had...
Lead is 6. Lever defending Jordan. What can you do? 3-on-1 now. Wilkins. Moses, the best offensive rebounder, plays patty cake and gets the basket.
Well, right now, the West has got to regroup.
That's one way to start.
It sure is, because in those 7 players before the game, as all the other players do, what they do is they pass around programs and they collect the autographs.
In their biggest lead of the ball game, with 8.5 to play in the 3rd, Lafayette Lever, he's been the best outside shooter. It's been and Wilkins on the other end. Good pass, Karl Malone. Hands it into Alex English.
Being a rookie playing in this ball game,
Michael Jordan.
Nervous, you just want to fit in and just enjoy the experience.
Johnson has the 3-point situation, and Hakeem stays in bounds. He's so strong.
You know, Ocean.
That's a good description. Samuel McDaniel, and it's now a 78-75 game. Ainge to his teammate Larry Bird.
Well, you saw how the
Thomas behind the back to Dominique. What a play by both of them, particularly.
And watch the ball movement here by the East. Isaiah finding Dominique going to the hoop.
Magic with the hook shot.
You know, it's almost like, well, you guys think...
On the bench, McHale, Rivers, and Barkley have come in the ball game for the East Stars. Mark Aguirre has checked in for the West. He just got married last night, representing Toronto. Ainge for 3. Bill mentioned earlier.
For the West, tallest player besides Kareem is about 6'6", so they could get hurt inside.
And that's where the East goes, and that's where Doherty hurts them. Brad Doherty. And it's 91-79, and the biggest lead of the game right now by the East as we wind down to 2 minutes to go in the third. McGuire comes right back at you.
2 minutes on the quarter.
Doherty
Brad Doherty.
gets 2. I like this Cleveland Cavalier team, winner of the NBA, and what a grand job he has done. David Stern. Players respect the work he's done. McGuire, attempt, and Drexler.
You know, I watched Clyde Drexler. Here's a guy.
We're going to look at inside rebounding here, but
You know, yeah, Clyde Drexler just sneaks in and gets that offensive rebound. Start. Complacency is not a word in their vocabulary.
Danny Ainge has hit his second. McGuire getting into the swing of things. Parties will somehow solve the impasse that they have.
No question. I think that both parties have to be the host for the East and then select someone from the West.
Not a bad idea. Or at least, if it isn't the team that's in first place, if their coach went the year before, maybe go to the second place team. But it's such a situation where other people have an opportunity, because Mike Fratello's having a ball this weekend. Drexler guarding Rivers. Brad Doherty hits with 13 seconds to knock it down now to 10.
Ball is in play. I got it, Jake.
McGuire has a new wife, a new attitude, self-examination during the offseason, and newfound respect, I think.
Yeah, and the Dallas Mavericks have been struggling the last week, 10 days.
The basket is nullified, so Kareem's next bucket will give him the all-time All-Star. Clyde Drexler on the follow-up, and it's 99-91. And
Be about it, too.
they traded Moses Malone. They traded away the #1 pick that became Doherty, and Barkley, of course, is on the 76ers. How true that would be. Doc Rivers with the free throws, and the 3 front court men for the West. Doherty with a sky hook of his own. The others?
You amaze me, the homework you do for these games.
Wow. What about you, Bill? You're a lefty kid. You're a southpaw.
That's why I'm sitting with you.
Donaldson replaced Steve Johnson. It's unusual to have just one left-hander in a game like this. Here's Johnson, and Olajuwon is on the line. The only player on either side who has not scored in the game is Maurice Cheeks.
Well, Maurice Cheeks went to Mike Fratello and said, you know, I'm not feeling well. Let's go in defensively and get to the open court, and we know what Magic can do there.
Brad Doherty with a great spin move baseline. Back in the ball game. He's at the scorer's table. Ainge. That's his third three-point bomb of the
Game
ball.
right now by 14. You'd have to say it's either Michael Jordan or Dominique Wilkinson if Larry.
That would be poetic justice on this kind of weekend. Drexler and the basket counts. Great play by Brad Doherty. Goes out having scored 12 and looking mighty good out there, replaced by Patrick Ewing.
You know, these two coaches, Pat Riley and Mike Fratello, would love to have the options they have as coaches for the All-Star game. You know, they can go with a small lineup, a big lineup, quickness, strength. And right now we see both teams are going to a big, they're down 13 points. And in a game like this where it's up and down and a lot of pressure, a couple missed shots and bam, there you are, right back in the ball game.
There's Lever, and of course these games can change. Worthy. So Worthy and Magic too late. .12-point lead tonight. No white jerseys there. Magic to Carmelo. Resounding play by the mailman. Each with 17, and what a thundering. There's the alley-oop again, and Hakeem Olajuwon. So the lob has worked.
Now here's Magic making that lob pass right there to Olajuwon. Now the reason.
Karl Malone with an outstanding game for the West All-Stars. Can cut the lead now to 8 with 6:09 remaining. And that's what Lever is all over Michael Jordan, picked up by Karl Malone on a switch, and Jordan gets the basket.
He just picks his way through this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's the 5th red shirt. Somehow he sneaks through there and is able to knock it in. Good roll with the rim.
Like a minefield in there.
Exactly what it looked like.
Magic Johnson checks the clock. He has 5:46 to go. Speaking of next week, we'll see Ainge and McHale. And Larry Bird
He should be MVP. The last time down, he was the one that set the screen to allow Jordan to go to the basket. This time, that ball's in Bird's hand. He looks for Jordan going back door for the layup.
Looks like Larry Bird and Magic are both taking over the mantle of Julius Erving as ambassador. Jordan, showtime. Oh! And Magic comes back. And they go back the other way. It's 120 to 110. Jordan follows up Isaiah. Timeout, West. Steal. English scores with nearly 4 minutes. Wilkins off the screen, wide open. Ewing. 14. Karl Malone now with 20 in the game. You don't see that in a regular game.
You think Chuck Daly wouldn't be up off the... And look at Isaiah bouncing this ball. He anticipated Dominique getting there, but it's just a little too high.
Fighting. Lever with 2:18 remaining. Points in a hurry. Karl Malone, now the leading scorer. 1:53 on the clock. Michael Jordan gets the basket. He's got 34 points.
Good weekend for Michael Jordan.
Magic's basket, good. And a foul is a 3-point play, and it's a 9-point game. Winds up with it. Ewing. And that may do it. 11-point lead. What a show both teams are putting on today.
That was just for these guys to express it to their teammates as well. Now there's that pass by Jordan. Everybody's got that look-away pass today.
And the other end. Magic with 14 assists today. But Michael Jordan is the man of the hour. And they want Kareem to go back in and get the All-Star record. He needs 2 points. Karl Malone goes out.
It's got to make Kareem feel good. You know, the fans know he needs 2 points. And to see that type of support. He wants to make sure this is it, and I would expect Ewing to let him get it.
All right.
Isn't that great?
Scoring mark. Jordan, 30 points. Aguirre for 3. I have never seen an All-Star game that had such spectacular passing and plays and thundering plays like this. From beginning to end, Billy.
Oh, what a way to end this ball game. It's been so much fun for us just sitting here watching these guys do these great creative things on the court.
Here it is again.
Don't have to say a word about this. Just look at this.
Aguirre was fouled at the other end. Michael Jordan has tied the All-Star record, or is 2 behind the All-Star record of 42 set by Wilt Chamberlain. He's got 40.
You know, the great thing is how Michael's teammates have tried to find him, to get him the basketball, as Isaiah did that last time. Now, there's another example. They wanted him to tie that record. Bird was just trying to throw him the ball.
Wilt Chamberlain had it 42. Michael Jordan will be satisfied, I'm sure, with 40. English basket counts. The All-Star game is history. Who will be the MVP? And it'll be a great show, whoever it is. Jordan's parents are coming down. That'll give you a hint.
How was your weekend, Michael?
It was great. I think it started off well. I'd like to thank the NBA for bringing the All-Star game to the city of Chicago. I think the fans are great, and I think everybody in the NBA and fans from all over the United States